Our results start from 2022. Now, these results are student results. What does that mean? That means I'm not in that room telling everybody, follow me, just do this. We teach all of our students a specific method, a specific way, so they can do it on their own without me. That's the entire reason you're doing this. Why would you ever want to be dependent on anyone? So in 2022, we had 4,621 wins, 1,331 losses, 198 break-evens for a 75.14% winning percentage. 2023, 3,389 wins, 1,112 losses, 258 break-evens for a 71.21% winning rate. 2024, 3,020 wins, 833 losses, 227 losses for a 74.02 win percentage. And so far this year, year to date, 474 wins, 149 losses, 20 break-evens for a winning percentage of 73.72%. This week, 14-4-1, 17-3-0, 11 wins, 7 losses, 2 break-even, 13 wins, 3 losses, 3 break-even today. Now, what does that mean? Each one of those wins is a unique win. So 7 or 8 students may take exactly the same trade, but it's only counted as one win. So that means just today alone, there were 13 separate unique winners. Now, what is the fascinating part about this, all of these wins, these winning percentages and whatnot? My students are taught to take trades off of the levels that I provide the day before. No one in the business does this. I am the only person that is giving you signal levels the previous day so you can use those levels in the overnight, the pre-market, or the following day's pit session. No one else does this. It's very, very important to understand that. And we're going to get into that in a moment. So how is it possible that we take people from all different backgrounds and teach them consistently how to be successful traders? The first thing we do is we start you off in our Ramp Up with Randall room. What is that? That is our nightly classes where you actually learn to execute the signals that we are going to be calling out every single day. You are in the classroom every single day. We have an online classroom. Every single signal that is taken in that room must be sent in to our instructors, so our instructors can pull them up and diagnose every single trade taken. You learn what you've done wrong. You've learned what you've done right. Most importantly, you learn what not to do again. You're learning a method. This method was developed over 15 years. It is repeatable, and we consistently strive to improve it. Why is it repeatable? Because when you begin, you only have 2 separate kinds of trades that you're going to use, and I'm going to go over those in a few moments. It is the same thing over and over and over again. It doesn't change. It's consistent. You're not going to get all kinds of different signals thrown at you every single day, making up excuses why this one didn't work. It's the same thing. So for example, if everybody can see these orange peach color areas, these are high volume areas. These are our trade signals. So for example, this is today's range. This just closed. Generally, I will use a high volume area above yesterday's range and one below yesterday's range. Using this train of thought, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different levels with 2 possible trades at each level. That is 20 possible entries. Just on the S&P 500 alone, we use 6 different markets. You have opportunities all the time. All you need to do is wait until price reaches that level. We qualify the entry for its validity. We then execute with the correct contract size. Well, how do we do all that? Fairly simple. First, you learn how to take a trade. Okay, now you know that there's 20 different trades in front of you tomorrow, just in the S&P 500 alone, if you get to those levels. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may open right here tomorrow, not touch any edge and stay right there. There's nothing we can do about that. I cannot control the market. But you've seen the number of trades we have recorded over 3 years. There is a distinct possibility you are going to get several opportunities just in the S&P 500 alone. But with that being said, what do? First, you go through your ramp up with Randall. You learn how to take the trades. Once you have shown the ability to take these trades successfully, we put you in the first 100. What does that mean? Don't be intimidated by the name the first 100. Generally, it does not take students more than 30 or 40 trades for you to show that you can successfully take these trades at the correct places with the correct discipline. Once you graduate the first 100, you go to money management. What is that? We teach you how to price out what something is worth. What does that mean? That means if you're in a defined uptrend and the market's going higher, let's say, for example, you're starting out with 2 contracts, you would use 2 contracts for that trade. In the same situation, in a defined uptrend, if you were going to go counter trend short, you would only use 1 contract. Why? Because you must compensate for the risk going against the trend. I know how campy and how crazy and how loony it sounds, but the trend is your friend. What happens after you graduate? Money Management 1, you have choices. You can go live using the micros. Why do we do this? Because we like you to get your toe dipped into the water and see what it's like using real money, but not huge risk of the minis if you're not prepared for it yet. Because one thing I can tell you, your brain doesn't know any different between the micros and the minis. When you're trading live, trust me, the heat is on. Believe me when I tell you this. Or you can move to Money Management 2, where we teach you more advanced strategies in trading. Now, using the 2 trades that you're going to learn, reversals and inverses, those were the ones that I showed you where you're going to have quite possibly 20 different entries just in the market tomorrow. Well, the market moves sideways roughly 80% of the time. So those are 80% of the opportunities you're going to have. But there's still 20% left. These are our advanced entries, which would be gap fills or trending entries. Gap fills, for example, if the market opens above yesterday's range or below yesterday's range, are our most powerful trades. Why? If everybody can see these yellow letters, the point of control, that's the most heavily traded price of yesterday. If the market opens gap up, everyone who was holding long yesterday, professional traders that is, they are going to wake up with a Christmas present in February and are most likely going to close their positions with a short trade. Everybody who opens gap down that was holding long, they're not going to have a Christmas present in February. They're going to wake up with a nightmare. They're going to be buying to get all the way back to value. This is the only time of the day where you're going to have the majority of the market trying to do the same thing. Now, we could go into gap fills ad nauseum forever. But that is the theory behind it. It is the most powerful trade we have. It's an advanced trade, but it's simple to learn. And a trending entry is simple to learn. So it's entirely up to you what you would like to do. Would you like to get at it immediately and start making return on investment? Or would you like to further your education before you start that? Now, each one of these levels you can do manually. We also have Trade Assist software that can help you. Entirely up to you. Now, what do we also offer? While you are learning this method, which takes a little bit longer because there's just more moving parts to it, even though it's still fairly easy, we offer in conjunction with this course our Market Mavericks course. This is a Follow the Leader course. This is one of my business partners, Todd Horwitz, Bubba Trading. From 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single morning, you're taking one single trade. It's called a blow-off trade. He is going to tell you when and where to take it. One trade in 8 separate markets. Plenty of opportunity in that 1 hour. This is especially wonderful for people who don't have a whole lot of time or go to work in the morning or they want to do the earn while you learn sort of thing. Now, over this year on a $2,000 account, now we trade mostly micros in this room, again, to dip your toe in the water so you understand what you're getting into before you start increasing contract size and using more risk. This is a starting balance of $2,000. Year-to-date profit, we are up $502 in that room, live, real money, which is a 25.10% gain year-to-date since the beginning of January. Now, you can build on that depending on your account size. All you have to do is multiply. Whether you're using 10,000, 20,000, or 2,000, it is still a 25.10% year-to-date gain. Now, we offer that in the package that we're going to be offering you later. Entirely up to you. So let's go over this again. If you're not really familiar with trading, what do you get? You learn the reversal and the inverse. You have the Ramp Up with Randall classroom with you Monday through Thursday night, teaching you what we do in the room every day. We have the live trading room every single day. I am in that room every morning from 7 a.m. till noon, and then from 2:30 to the close. Here's a $1 million private lesson. Why are we not in the room from noon Eastern to 2:30? Because everyone goes to lunch. And when people go to lunch, the participation disappears and the markets generally go sideways. You don't want to sit there and exhaust yourself, because I can guarantee you something: if anything is going to move, it's going to happen after 2:30 if it already did not happen between 7 a.m. and 11:30, 12 a.m. Eastern. What do we do in that room? Trade reviews. We go over every single thing that you do. We show you what you did right. We show you what you did not so right. We show you what not to do and explain to you why not to do it. If you choose to further your education after you've gone through Money Management 1, and this is entirely up to you, you can go into our advanced techniques, which would be gap fills and trending entries. We have mentor programs, all live trading room. Everything is the same. We have software, Trade Assist software, which can help you execute even quicker. Because I can tell you one thing today: without Trade Assist software, especially at the end of the day, you would have most likely missed a lot of trades because they happened so quickly. I seriously doubt most people would have been able to execute them manually. This is a step-by-step system that builds success. The proof is in the student results. We post them every single day. We don't necessarily, that's all I'm showing is the ES right now. Because the explanation, Darlene, is generally what we do. The ES, and I like to keep it simple, Darlene. I can show you all kinds of different market profile, but the method's exactly the same no matter what you choose to trade. Whether it's the ES or the NASDAQ, it works exactly the same. So for example, Darlene, let's say we opened gap up right here tomorrow morning in the NASDAQ. You've got to trade there, you got to trade there, trade there, trade there, there, until you're going for your goal, the point of control, the most heavily traded price of the single of yesterday. Does that make sense? So no matter which market you're looking at, Darlene, the method is exactly the same. There's nothing different for any market. I like to keep things really, really simple. So now our package. This is a 90-day program designed to let you in on all the different formats to see what works best for you. Because let me explain something to everybody. No one in this room is the same. Everybody's different. Some people like swing trading. Some people like options only. We have all of this. We trade commodities, we trade futures, we trade options. We have automated programs for options. We have weekly options. We have equity portfolios. So it's a 90-day program, not crypto yet. And the reason, Darlene, there's no crypto is because we cannot identify the participation at price because it's not regulated. If you will, crypto is almost like Forex. You can't really see where it's being traded. So your entry points are very, very sketchy. Does that make sense? We're trading regulated stuff. So you know where actual contracts have been traded. You can see the actual participation, and I'll get right back to that in a moment. Exactly. Darlene, I have a Series 3 license, which means I'm a commodities and futures broker trader. I've got a Series 34 license, which is Forex. I've got a CTA. I'm one of a handful of people in the United States that have a 3 and a 34. And I can tell you something. It is very, very difficult to make money in Forex because most people have no idea where the participation is. But you know who does know? Your broker, who's usually taking the other side of your trade. That's sketchy, right? And we'll get back to that in a minute. So, to begin your trading experience for profit, you can follow the signals from one of our rooms, say the Market Mavericks room, where Todd Horwitz, Bubba Trading, my partner, is a 45-year veteran, 30 years on the floor in Chicago. Options, futures. He's about as good as it gets. You're not going to find anybody better. You learn the fundamentals of trading with either the modified market profile system, which is mine, or the algo trading system. Finally, you're going to get the opportunity to earn while you're learning with 90 days of access to one of our high-performing automated systems. We have these automated systems. I have my money in all of them. I eat my own cooking. And when you contact us, and you can see the banner up top, Mike Zanetti at michaelz@targettrading.co. We will be more than happy to provide you with those results. Live accounts, real money accounts. We will be happy to do it. And the reason we offer this kind of a program is because everybody's not the same. Some people may like different things. I can tell you one thing, Darlene. Sometimes people just do not want to freaking sit around and wait. They'd rather take that Market Mavericks course 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and if something doesn't happen, they're done for the day and they're happy to leave. Does that make sense? And I don't blame you, because if I had the choice, I'd do that too instead of sitting around all freaking day. How about that? So what you're also looking at here, Darlene, in the example that I were making before about the Forex or the crypto, you can see these huge bricks of gray participation, highs and lows. You can see where the actual support and resistance is from the previous day, which is the most relevant and the most important. You can't see that in Forex. You can't see that in crypto. That's what makes us different. We show you where the best places to get in and to get out. I show you how to qualify and how to disqualify, which is much, much more important. Because once you've run out of signals to disqualify, you're left with what? Qualified signals. Then what do? We affix a value to it. How much is it worth in correlation to your account size? So let's say you're a 10 contract trader. Maximum 10 contracts. That's with the trend in a trending market. So for example, if the market's in an uptrending market and you have a trending trade long, you're probably going to take 10 contracts. Well, if it's counter trend, I would suggest you only take 5. Why? Because you're going against the primary trend, which is not necessarily a great thing to do. But because of the levels that we are providing, support is support, resistance is resistance. If it's a valid trade, I'm taking it. We win a lot more than we lose or we break even. So you've got to take trades. What's the difference between us and the vast majority of people? We know our risk before we get into something, and if there's too much risk, we're not taking the trade. We'll wait for another one. Simple. Now, if you're interested in the package and you can learn much, much more by emailing michaelz@targettrading.co. The 3-month package you can start out with at $500 a month, or you could buy it whole at $1,250. Entirely up to you. Your choice. But what I would do is I would email Michael, I would make an appointment, I would talk to one of our consultants, because the truth of the matter is, as much as I would love to do a deep dive into you personally, this means everybody in this room, so we could decipher what kind of trader you really are and what would help you, we simply don't have that kind of time in here to do this right now. And the truth of the matter is, I don't want anyone buying something that's not suited for them, because it's just a waste of time. And I know I hate having my time wasted, and I certainly wouldn't want to waste yours. And you may say, you know something? I really love that, or hey, maybe that's for me. As far as I'm concerned, you're the boss. You make the choices. We're just here to give you options so you can make choices. So are there any questions, anything on the presentation, or anything software-wise, any questions that I can help you with? Thank you, Maria. We do our best. Darlene, that's a phenomenal question, because I can tell you one thing. They're both the same and they're both different. And what does that mean? That means every one of these levels is designed to give you a big winner. Now, let's identify day trading. Day trading is only done within a pit session range. So we have several different markets, Darlene. We start off at gold at 8:20 a.m. Eastern, oil at 9 a.m., we start out at the equities at 9:30 a.m. Gold ends at 1:30 a.m. Oil ends at 2:30. The equities end at 5 o'clock, but we're generally done trading at about 4. We are not going to hold anything into the overnight, but I have absolutely no issue with you taking a position in the overnight if you're going to trade overnight. Now, there's also differences in day trading futures than there are in stocks. In day trading, if you are a pattern day trader, you're going to have at least $25,000 in your account every single morning before you even take a trade. When you close a trade, you generally have T+2, meaning depending on when your trade is closed on a specific day, you're not going to get that money back for at very least 2 days. That doesn't exist in futures. As soon as your trade is closed, you have that capital to go again. In stock trading, equities trading, you can't trade in the overnight session. In futures, you can. So there's an enormous amount of advantage in trading the futures and the commodities. I'm sure a lot of you have heard, well, futures and commodities are really, really dangerous. That's a myth that was started by stockbrokers because they're not licensed to make money off of your trades in the futures market. Okay? Futures is quite possibly the most safe, efficient way of trading. Without doubt. So it's designed to do both things. I know that was a very circular answer to a very linear question, Darlene, but you got to go into things a little bit so I can make sure you're getting the answers that you want. I am a swing trader. Every short that I take, Darlene, I'm expecting price to go to 0. Every long that I take, I'm expecting it to go to 1 million, okay? Does it always happen? No, it really doesn't. But I'm going to trail that thing, Darlene, until I get stopped out. I'm going to squeeze every single freaking dollar out of it that I possibly can. But when the rules stop me out, the rules stop me out, and then I go looking again. But then I also teach you, Darlene, two different things. And these are very important. Most people don't seem to understand this. Half of this game is making money. The other half is keeping it. Not only do we teach you how to make it, but more importantly, I teach you how to keep it. Because I am on top of you every single trade you take, and I am always giving you options after every single trade. About the ratio trader program, that would be a much more in-depth question. I would prefer you to talk to Michael about that because he can get you to Bubba, and Bubba can go into that with you ad nauseum, just over and over and over again. I can tell you right now, that program is ripping it right now. It's up there with the equities portfolio right now. It is doing very, very well. And we have the actual, real, live results to show you. Any more questions? Anyone else I can help? Anything. If you have any questions on futures or trading, please ask. I'm happy to help you. I want everybody to know what they're getting into before they decide to do it and make a commitment. The starting out program, Darlene, for 90 days is either $500 a month or $1,250 one-time payment. Then it's up to you what you decide to do. You may want to focus on one program, and then we can give you a program for that. You may choose you want to do two different things. It all depends. I don't like putting the cart before the horse, Darlene, because what's really important is we need to find out what works best for you. Does that make sense? I'm not one of these guys that tells you it's got to be done my way and that's it. Well, we may not mesh. You may really get along with Bubba, right? You may really like the Mavericks program, which is just from 9 to 10. So it all depends. We really need to find out what you click with. Well, May, you've got to be really careful when you talk about auto traders, okay? We have trade assist software. So what does that mean? Trade assist software will help you place these trades much, much faster than you could ever do yourself. All you have to do is choose to decide to take the signal that's being called, or you can choose not to take it. Once you get pulled in, the software will automatically put your limits and your stops in, and if the trade goes in your favor, it will automatically trail until you are stopped out. Now, we also have auto trading programs in our options course and our equities portfolio, which are rebalanced. There's nothing you have to do. So for example, the weekly SPY program, which is called the SPY A, every week we take weekly options. This week, we've already rolled. So we made money on the weekly option. First, the weekly option we had at the beginning of the week, we broke even. We then took one today, and we were up $280 on that one, rolled again. So now we're long again. It will automatically take those trades for you. Does that make sense, May? And just so you know, May, we're going to tell you what we're looking to take, so you know beforehand, okay? We are looking to take this on this. That's what we're going to look to do. We're going to roll. And then every Friday at 3:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whichever position we're in, we close out that weekly option, we roll into another one. As long as we have volatility. You don't want to take options trades if you're just going sideways in a tight range, you're going to get murdered. Make sense? Sometimes we may not take a trade because if there isn't enough volatility to justify taking a trade, we're not going to take it. So it's not only automated, but it's managed by a professional who's been doing this for 45 years. Darlene, the algo trading system, you can use software, but my algo trading program was designed that you can do everything manually. Now, does it help to have the software? Does it save a ton of time? Yes, it does, but you can absolutely do all of it manually. And I designed my course that way so anyone on any platform could use it. Any more questions? All right. If you have any questions, please email michaelz@targettrading.com. I will put the email address in the chat also so you guys can see that. Chip, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it because I know your time is valuable and I'm extremely grateful. This recording will also be available so you can watch it again. All you need to do is get in contact with us. We will make sure you can get a copy of it so you can see it again. But what I would tell everyone is email Michael Zanetti. It is, in my opinion, a much, much better experience when we can identify the type of trader you are so we can get you going in the right direction as quickly as possible. Well, the algo trading system is what I was speaking about before. Is the system is based upon high volume area levels, which are these orange levels. Every one of these edges is a trade signal. We are using a tick chart, meaning what? A smaller tick chart. So you can enter your trade. So for example, this is what it would look like on the S&P 500. We would be looking to enter on a smaller time frame, either below these edges or outside these edges when you break out. But there's a methodology to it. You've got to learn reward to risk. You've got to learn market context. And we teach you these things every single day. Algo is just a generic term. Algorithmic, algo trade. There's a specific method behind it. Any more questions? You, Lee, the best thing to do is to speak to one of our consultants because they can explain everything to you in detail. So there's no misunderstanding on what we do or what you would be asking about. Darlene, you can email Michael Z and ask him for a copy of it if your email is not already in our system. But just to make sure, email him and ask him for the video. I just like to make sure that everybody can get it, so the best way to do it, even though you may think you've already entered your email, is to do it that way, because then we know for a fact and we've got you. So we can send it to you and we have you on record as asking us for it. Yuli, I can see you're still typing. Any more questions? We don't really have any reading material on it, I'm sorry to say. Awesome, Paul. I'm grateful to have you. Just get in the room as much as possible. And if there's anything that you need, Paul, do not hesitate to ask. I will help you any possible way that I can. Probably help you so much you're going to get sick of me and tell me to go screw myself. Because you're going to start hearing me in your freaking nightmares. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I truly do appreciate your time. Have a phenomenal evening and weekend. You're very welcome, Darlene. It's my pleasure. Have a great evening, everyone, and a great weekend.